I swear, if it's the same. What is this? Why is this happening? So when you compile the orders of the production together, it actually starts to make a lot more sense. I mean, not as to why, but you can at least visually see that even though we finally got to the real intro on episode 12, the Gungan General, anything prior to that point was clearly using the, what I call, old intro. And the episodes we've seen with the new one so far come after it in production, like Jedi Crash, Defenders of Peace, Trespass, Blue Shadow Virus, you get it.
Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi lead a massive invasion to liberate the starving people.
This looks like nose art, but alas, I have no idea which one it is. We just barely get a shot of it over here, and yeah, I still have no clue. Also, this connects back to what Ornfree Ta was saying back or forwards, depending on how you watch it, in supply lines.
The Twilight people are starved.
Have they been duking it out here on Ryloth this whole time since then, or did they just decide to come back after a couple of months?
First trick, we'll be getting our troops on the ground.
Obi-Wan says this, but they had troops on the ground back in that episode. I know it was all about medical supplies for the people, but Yularen made it seem like the Republic was already there to defend them against the Separatists. Did they all die there? They didn't all die, right?
You must not allow the clones to reach the surface.
Our new proton cannon are in the optimum position to prevent that.
What?
That's a good question, Watt. As smart as the tactical droids are supposed to be, did someone forget to teach them proper basic?
Our new proton cannon are in the optimum position to prevent that.
What is this statue? Is it supposed to be a Twi'lek? One arm's got a shield and the other one is missing, along with its head. In this next shot, you can see one holding a spear, head and everything, so I guess it's safe to assume the other one was a Twi'lek too. I love this random B one here that's just like... The weird thing is you can see this guy in the shot before, just barely, with some cliffs behind him. Then in the next one, he's all the way over here by this building. Actually, the whole shot with Watt is kind of weird. 1 second, this building is right behind him with our headless boy, and the next there's literally no building in sight. What kind of force magic is this? Off the bat, though, you can see just how damn hard they must have worked on all the Twi'leks in this village. I mean, so far, we've had the unfortunate pleasure of the Lurmen, the Pirates, and the Pantorans all being either the exact same model, copy and pasted, swapping clothes and random things, or just like 4 different models copied into oblivion. But here you have all kinds of character models, and it really pays off in this arc for me. Even that slight touch makes this feel more real and personal.
What if they focus the attack on your cannon?
I am utilizing the prisoners from this village as living shields.
You know, it's a film for 12-year-olds.
The Jedi will not risk the prisoners.
That's...
We need to remember why we're here. We came to aid the Twi'leks, not destroy their home.
Minimal destruction with blasters and droid poppers only. Keep an eye out for the locals. Am I understood? Sir, yes, sir!
I fuck so hard with Boyle's mustache. Please assure me in the comments that I am not the only one.
We're here to free the tailheads. The least they can do is get out of our way.
This isn't the first time we've seen clone racism in this show. I still chalk it up to being like 10 years old mentally, and I guess later on down the line, we do see less of this kind of behavior from most clones. Although, yeah, it's easy to see the Twi'leks this way when you're just trying to win a war. These are the things that kind of push Anakin to the dark side, having to worry about things within the Jedi Code that would often prevent them from overall victory. See, here we at least get a better idea of what's going on. That statue with the head from before was behind the tactical droid, and those buildings are in front of it. Animation is weird, man.
We can't risk landing the larger transports until you take out those guns.
The Republic transports have turned away, but the gunships are still heading toward us.
Why the fuck does this screen right here say comic relief? On the right side, these two things both say phase, I think. This gunship art right here is called the Crumb Bomber, and it's one of our good old friends, the Kowakian monkey lizard thing, holding a missile. And the text way over here says, laugh this off. I feel like Obi-Wan took one look at that ship and just thought,
So uncivilized.
So we see how damn big these things are later on, and they're called gut curs. But look at the size of that fly. Apparently they're called can cells. What kind of names are these? We've actually seen them already on Rhodia, and I know they pop up in a couple more places, but I'm pretty sure they were also in that Revenge of the Sith deleted scene where Yoda arrives on Dagobah. I know they're just trees basically, but they look just different enough to feel like a different world. The colors here are really cool too, even though it's probably to sell the whole invaded planet thing going on right now. And these cliff things, dude, what is that? It's some kind of painting in the background like we saw in Naboo, but this one reminds me of an egg or something. Then you got this elephant AT-AT looking one. It's just so fucking cool, man. This shit is so good for season 1. This is like a 10-second walk, and it's just so packed with little things when you stop to look at it. All these people look just broken and defeated as hell in this little hallway. You got this guy just passed out alone, probably separated from his family. What looks like this girl tending to this guy's wound, maybe. A little girl laying down against probably her mother. And then the camera takes us outside of this courtyard with everyone being held as a human shield, where the statue that had its head missing is lower in frame, with the one holding a spear intact standing above in the back, watching over everything. Right in front of the canyon the tank comes out of later in this episode, which in a way symbolizes the Twi'leks regaining control. Jesus, this series is making me love this show so much more, man.
You two wanted action? Follow me.
You heard him, Waxer!
Let's take them out.
Wait, what the fuck? Who's this? How did that happen? This was Waxer and Boyle moments ago, only to be sabotaged off screen and replaced by this Phase 1 clone trooper with no yellow to be found on their armor. I love droid poppers. Have I ever mentioned that? Probably. It's cool to see weapons just specialized at killing droids only. No clue why they don't use more of these kinds of things. Also, as a sound engineer, I can't help but love the sounds that they make. There's so many different sounds layered together to make it. I love it. You have the countdown with this weird wavy sound, like running your fingers along a wet glass kind of thing, with this high-pitched whine in the background, and it like charges up and releases as soon as it pops. Then you hear this bell kind of sound and a static charge kind of noise with that high-pitched whine from earlier kind of pulsating in pitch as it gradually goes down. All of that blended together for a droid popper that gets brushed off in like a second. I don't know, hate me if you want for that TED Talk, but it blows my mind sometimes.
I've lost contact with our outer defenses.
The Republic troops have overrun the village perimeter.
You can see this couple right here solemnly look at each other, then lean their heads on one another. But this one girl over here looks like really angry. At first she looks like she's trying to crack her neck or something, but also looks like she's falling asleep sitting up. But it looks really
unnatural.
And she still looks angry, even asleep.
Send your best men to scout ahead.
Boyle, Waxer, come with me. I guess we're the best.
This screen looks pretty similar to the targeting computer on the Millennium Falcon.
What really makes a city are the inhabitants that live in it. Where are they? You two take the south sector. Be back at command by 0620. I tell you, Boyle, this is creepy. You think they killed all of them? They were driven from their homes. I don't think they had a what? Choice. Wait, Twi'leks. They're holding all the survivors hostage. They've taken the locals hostage and they're using them as shields.
Getting the villagers out of harm's way is our first priority. I have faith in you, General Kenobi.
Cody, we'll go in with everything we have. Clear those hostages.
I feel like this is one of the only times we get this real-time view of someone watching the report from a probe droid. This tactical droid, is it the same one from Jedi Crash? He has the exact same markings as the other one. Oh yeah, I guess so. I guess they're just different colors. Hang on, they literally are just different colors. They're the exact same model, down to the paint job and everything. That's so interesting to realize after all this time. Animation is so weird. Why does this rock kind of look like it's floating in midair? Also, there were no rocks behind her in the last shot, just off to the side over here.
It's just a little girl. Well, what are we gonna do with her? Whoa, why do we have to do anything? I say we take her with us. You can't be serious. She'll only slow us down. We can't leave her here. Fine, we'll take her. Be careful. Don't worry, Waxer. I don't think she's armed. Little tailhead bit me. Stop, you're scaring her. She probably thinks we're droids.
Well, what gave you that idea? I love that it took them this long to consider that possibility.
See, I'm flesh and blood. Just like you.
Here.
This is the first time I've noticed this early on in Season 1, but you can really start to see the way they make the clones look slightly different by using small things like the thickness of their eyebrows or the way their expressions sit on their face. They really turn it up as the season progresses, though.
Nara?
Now, I'm Waxer. He's Boyle.
Nara.
Oh, you made a friend. Mission accomplished. Can we go now? Come on. Look, she doesn't even want to go.
They did a really good job with the way they handle Numa. This is exactly what a little kid who couldn't communicate with you would do. In retrospect, knowing what she just called them makes this misunderstanding kind of sad. I do love that sassy little decisive march she does when she decides to follow them, though. I love that the tactical droids look like they wear bell bottoms.
So you can tell by the way I use my voice.
I starved them like you ordered, sir. Are you sure they will not attack us?
I need a test.
Sir? What are you doing? Oh, no.
The creatures require organic meat.
You'd think this was silly, but there's a lot of things in Star Wars that eat random shit, so it's a pretty good test. Add droid cruelty to the list after animals, will ya? It looks like one of them already died in here. I'm surprised they didn't eat it yet.
I wonder what happened to her family. They're probably dead. Hopefully she'll survive this mess. What happens to her? I mean, after we leave? I don't know.
Boyle here, ever the optimist.
There you are.
Nara!
This is such a great shot. The background is completely desaturated in gray with hints of browns, and then you have Numa, this bright little thing in the middle of all of it. That really shows through all the ash and destruction, there's still hope.
Where's she going? You know, I have binders if we need them. What?
The way the light shines through this wall design right here looks really cool.
I guess this was her home. Poor little thing. She lost it all. It's okay now. We're here to help.
Fuck man, this moment hits you hard every time.
We'll keep you safe. I promise.
Even though you were about to put binders on her a few minutes ago, I love this uncomfortable stare and back pat. It's just awesome when you think about it. At the beginning of the episode, they were tailheads getting in the way, and now that they met Numa, everything changes. Despite inhibitor chips and all, this hammers home the fact that they can open their minds and hearts like this, to see that their first impressions were wrong, and it sells the idea that the clones are not only far superior to droids, but that they're individuals and all have a choice.
Use the high-powered transmitter to see if you can reach Waxer and Boyle.
Yes, sir!
The others will catch up.
I love that we're still on the same comic relief screen.
Release the beasts.
We're way overdue, Waxer.
Those shadows in the background look so good. I just love seeing the animation start to come together this early on. I'm sure every little improvement like this marked a significant milestone for the creative teams, like the Twi'leks in this episode getting so much attention to detail. It's a really hard call to make, but I'm pretty sure all these gut curs are the same asset with different shades. You can see some of the patterns on the faces if you look hard enough, but it looks like there might be some variation to them. They kind of remind me of the canyon crawler things from Avatar: The Last Airbender too, which ironically makes sense.
See what happens when we don't follow orders?
It's ironic Waxer says that to Boyle. I mean, we know what happens to Waxer, and I'm not going to talk about it, but Boyle probably does wind up in Order 66. Maybe even on Utapau, where he most likely followed orders like a good bad boy. Oh, kids in their secret war bunkers.
Surprise, bitches!
What was that?
Their chances of success against us are 742 to 1.
This guy is basically the nemesis of C-3PO.
I am a droid. I am always right.
For the most part, as hungry as they probably are, they seem to be doing a lot more headbutting than eating over here. Okay. All right, never mind. You can see them still eating this guy in the back.
No, wait. Incredible. Quiet, rookie.
That's a fun little detail, having this shiny be in awe of the Jedi when they've probably seen this shit like 1,000 times by now.
Where have you two slackers been? Got sidetracked.
I think I see what sidetracked you. Hello, little one.
Hello there.
Lunala John Willow.
Yana, Wanera, Kuminera.
She's like, ah, fuck, finally a civilized person around here. Ume Nira probably means, come on, brother. This girl is so cute.
Yep, this is about the worst job in the droid army. What? And it just went into overtime.
I love this fucking droid.
Aww. We have a problem. The Jedi is freeing the prisoners.
Hold up.
Backing up! Backing up! Backing up!
Numa!
I love that all it takes is Numa running out of there for all the other Twi'leks to be like, fuck yeah, let's go!
You lose, General Kenobi.
I love when the tactical droids are so accurate that they're off the mark completely. A living shield of prisoners should be enough to deter the Jedi from an outright assault, yet he can't compute that Waxer and Boyle finding this little girl winds up leading them through the city to where the prisoners are. Or that Kenobi has the upper hand by knowing their language, and he definitely didn't see it coming that this little girl would incite a riot where he's torn limb from limb in an inhumane act of barbarianism. At the end of the day, it's love that this droid can't compute that winds up being his downfall. And what's tactical isn't always the same as what's right.
Does not compute. Does not compute. Does not compute.
I swear, that little close your eyes thing makes me laugh every time as she's like, no, I want to see Daddy Nira. Can you guys just imagine for a second that the Separatists were an army of men? That really recontextualizes the scene. Seeing this fucking thing parked right next to me in real life would be terrifying, watching those big ass things casually come down the runway.
See you later, little one. Hey, Numa. Stay out of trouble.
Ah, you big softy.
Nara! Nara!
I love this part. Her dad looks down at her like, oh yeah? All proud as fuck. And the clone should be too, honestly.
So, what is that she keeps calling us?
Nera. It means brother.
I love how taken aback they are for that split second when they finally realize this whole time she was calling them brother. That's how they refer to themselves. Shit, that probably really hit home for them in that moment. Those moons in the sky are a fantastic shot too. All right, now this is what I'm talking about. This is top tier Clone Wars for me. This episode has everything Star Wars is all about. The humanity the clones showcase in this episode really sets us up for some amazing arcs moving forward. Whenever I ask people about season 1, this arc is really the only one that anyone ever really talks about. And I think it speaks for itself. It's easy to get lost in stories about the Jedi and the Republic all the time, but these episodes that we get to know the clones and focus on their character arcs are some of the most loved in the entire show. This one and Rookies are some of the best episodes this season has to offer, and damn, it's bittersweet getting close to the end. Patron shoutouts! Shoutouts to all my commanders, the infamous Drakmir, who in their spare time likes to make Kawaki and Monkey Lizard statues for the less fortunate of Coruscant. In my opinion, an even less fortunate gift, honestly. Matt Army the Wise, so wise in fact, they managed to convince Darth Plagueis, the former Wise, to a game of beer pong, and well, we all know how that went later. Senor Mr. Schnuffle, the galaxy's most infamous space pop singer, being the only artist to play at every rival crime gang's parties, unlike a beloved Max Rebo. More shoutouts to all my Master Jedis. David, the main proponent for Rancor rights after seeing how cool Boba Fett looked riding one. Inference Crumb, who used to make a living playing Sabacc, lost it all to a man wearing fancy capes, and now plays a different game instead, probably. Marcus Fleischer, the first member of the Imperial Senate to try jumping from one pod to another. It hardly worked for Yoda, use your imagination. R. McNasty01, who braved the deserts of Tatooine in search of an ancient seashell just to look cool at parties. Taylor Lynn, one of Padme's cleaning staff in episode 2, who for some reason was deeply offended by Anakin's distaste for sandy things. And Varium, the only human in galactic history to grow horns using the Force to stretch their skull into weird shapes. Kinda cheating if you ask me though. More huge shoutouts to all my Jedi Knights, Korchin, Nephorax, and Celsus Fullpace. Well, Happy New Year's, guys. Late, as always. I literally just recorded a whole outro, and I realized that it didn't save any of it. If you guys are here right now, I want to thank you, and I really appreciate you being here. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.